these artboards are set up as 6 inches by 4 inches. After you download your sugar skull, you're going to go to File, Place, and you're going to select your image. You can click at the top. If you need to resize it, again, make sure you hold the Shift key down, so that way you can keep the proportions the same. And then we only have like 3 simple steps. So step 1, select the image. We're going to go to Object, Image Trace, and then the next time we're going to go to Object and Expand. Make sure it has Object and Fill and click OK. And the key here is we are using the Live Paint Bucket tool, shortcut K. Okay, and I can just fill a pattern here. Sorry, make sure I've got my Fill Paint Bucket on. Okay, so I'm on my Live Paint Bucket tool. Okay, and if possible, try to make sure you're kind of doing these where you have a pattern or a rhyme or a reason, so that way there's some semblance of color and order, because we want these to be very symmetrical in there. So again, so the whole point of this is we are using the Live Paint Bucket, which allows you to just click inside there, instead of maybe having to go and manually try to fill something in with the paintbrush. So again, in the notes, make sure that you are working with the paintbrush and you are actually filling in the items and not the strip. Now, because we're going to be using a lot of different bright colors, this would probably be best set up at the beginning to go ahead and set up our swatches first. Okay, so I can click here with a color. Okay, and I can go to the library, and I'm going to choose Color Properties and Bright. Okay, I'm going to hold my Shift key because that will allow me to manually select, Control, here we go, and I can go ahead and select a couple different bright, vivid colors that I think would really look good in the design. I can always go back and add more, but again, if I do it this way, that may help me a little bit more when it comes time to picking colors. So once I select all of these, I can click and I can do Add to Swatches. Now I'm going to go to my Swatches panel, and these are selected here, but I want to actually make a new color group. So with those selected, I'm going to make a color group. Okay, and I'm going to call this Sugar Skull Cat. Okay, so now all of my colors are right here. So now when I want to go back in to my Live Paint Bucket, okay, I can make sure that I'm using colors from the same design family. On there. And you can always go back and edit it a little bit more. Again, here we want to really make sure that you are being symmetrical and deliberate in all of your color choices. And it may be a little bit more difficult when you can see the strokes there, but that just makes it a little bit more challenging, and even better when you finish at the end and you see how great that looks. So again, right here, it's very easy for me just to go ahead and jump to a couple other color options that are there once I have my Sugar Skull Cat library already set up. Okay, so now I'm finished, but if you notice, I do have 3 different artboards, and I only want to turn in the second artboard. So again, I need to do a quick File and Save. Then I'm going to do File, Export, Export As. Okay, I'm going to call this the Cat Sugar Skull Final. Okay, and here's the key. I need to check at the bottom where it says Use Artboards. And instead of all, I want to change that to 2. So I'm only exporting Artboard 2. Okay, then we can go and see how that looks. Okay, so there's the original. And here is my final copy.